Okay, so you can lie down and get nice and comfy. If you like, you can even put the cushion under your knees. Okay, so take a minute just to tuck your shoulder blades down away from your ears. You can either keep your hands on your belly, or if your hands ever go down to the floor, the palms always rotate up towards the sky. Make sure your hips feel comfortable on the ground too. Close your eyes. Good. Taking a deep, deep breath and exhale with a sigh. Again, inhale. Exhale with a sigh. And a third and final time. Take a deep breath in and then exhale to release. And remind yourself that for the next little practice, there's nothing that's more important than your health. So whatever it is that you're thinking about, remind yourself that if you really want to, you can think about it later. But right now, you want to create a healing bubble. So we're going to connect into the breath and make sure that we're breathing at the best quality as possible. So you're going to notice that when your head starts slowing down from all those thousands of thoughts that we carry around, and we really focus inwards and listen into our breath, the breath just slows down on its own. And then start letting the breath get deeper and deeper. So when you inhale, you should feel your belly lift up towards the sky. And when you exhale, you press your belly in just a tiny bit to make sure you take away every molecule of oxygen that you possibly can. So inhale nice and deeply. Feel the whole torso expand with the breath. Again, exhale, release. Press in a tiny bit on the belly button to make sure you're squeezing out all that oxygen. Inhale nice and deeply. Exhale fully and completely. And then pay attention also to where you feel little pauses or blockages in your breath. So normally we should have a tiny break at the top of the inhalation and then again after the exhalation. But otherwise, the breath should be very, very fluid. So if you do feel places that there's an unnecessary pause, slow down a little bit and let it become more fluid. So we like the breath in yoga to be very slow, fluid, and deep. And then the next element of that healing cycle is to include what we call the ujjayi breathing. So that's when we contract the throat just a tiny bit. And once the throat is contracted, we start hearing the breath turn into sound. So the ujjayi breath in English means the sound of waves, the ocean sounding breath. So we want to create that sound with our own body. And we do that to create a hormonal change in the body. So as soon as the mind starts hearing waves, especially when we produce them ourselves, it can no longer produce those stress hormones that make us sick or make us more sick than we already are. And it starts producing endorphins that help us heal and also help us be more happy. So we want to keep this ocean sounding breath with each inhalation and each exhalation. And then we're going to include in another final element with the breath this morning. And it's how to direct our energy. So if you want, you can imagine a ball of energy at the base of the spine. And with each inhalation, imagine pulling this energy up the front line of the body towards your third eye in the center of the forehead. And with each exhalation, let it go down the hollow column of the spine, back down to the tailbone. So with each inhalation, we're inhaling, bringing that energy upwards, and each exhalation, we're bringing that energy back downwards. And it should create a type of physical sensation in our body. So when we're inhaling and we're gathering all that energy, we want to feel like we're getting light and energized. And when we're exhaling and the energy's going down, we want to feel more calm and heavy. And depending on how we're feeling, sometimes it's hard to bring those energy fields into the body, but honestly, it's just a memory. So when you're inhaling and you want the energy to come up, remember something that gives you a head rush. The easy thing is like a game at La Ronde. We're inhaling, it's exciting, and the energy's coming up. And then if we're having a hard time bringing our energy back down, which is equally as important, remember something that makes you feel very connected to the ground. So I always think about stomping my feet, and that real impact that we have when it comes down. So if we think about the whole breathing process together, the breath is very slow, fluid, deep. We contract the throat for the Ujjayi breath. And we take time to direct our energy flowing through the body. We also think of that as an energetic cleanse as well. So we're inhaling, bringing all of the good, positive energy from the world and the universe into the body. And exhaling to clear out all the old and negative energy until eventually the body, mind, and soul becomes very positive. So we're going to keep a hold of all of those elements and include the physical practice as well. So you can keep your body nice and relaxed and start bending your knees, and with your feet push your cushion to the side, maybe to your left side. Good. Keep your knees bent and lift your feet just a tiny bit from the floor. Good. Now imagine your knees as the focal point, and you're going to draw the infinity sign in the air with the knees. So you can start with very small little movements. See how it feels in your low back. So you want to really get into different angles and experiment to see how you're feeling this morning. What's happening in your hips and your low back especially. If there's areas of tension or if it feels nice and open. And then take time, if it's feeling healthy, to open the movement with the repetitions. So we always work with what we call the limit in yoga, which means that we feel what we're doing, but it shouldn't induce any type of pain. Good. So from here, are you having pain right now?
Right
in your low back?
Yeah.
Is it the contact with the floor?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're nice and bony. So what we're going to do is open the arms nice and wide. We're going to get into those angles a different way. Exhale, let your knees go down to the right side in a twist. Good. Turn your head slightly to the left. Does that take the discomfort away?
Yes.
Okay, good. So you can close your eyes for a moment and let the body soften. And from here, what's important is that we recognize that our body changes, not only just every day, but through every breath. And to really pay attention to what we're focusing on right now. So we're really looking at opening the left side of the body, from the knee right to the shoulder. And to notice what you're feeling. So right now, if you have a nice sensation, your knees are in the perfect place. Good. If you ever need to adjust and you're feeling like something's being pinched, we bring the knees further away from the belly. And when things get easier and the muscles open, we bring the knees further inwards. So the important thing now is to let the body soften and breathe into those areas that you're feeling the most tension. So we're in a twist. We're going to feel that whole left side open with the breath. Even let the shoulder lift up from the floor. And exhale, let it drop down. So everything melts. So again, we're taking those nice, deep, deep, deep breaths. Good. Exhale, release. And notice what happens in your body with each breath. And sometimes we have that tendency to really let go. But right now we want to put as much effort into the breathing as possible. To let the body be nice and relaxed. And then the breath can do the work for us. Good. So to focus in on the other side, we're going to exhale and squeeze the belly button in on the next out breath. Inhale, bring the knees up to center. Good. Exhale, let the knees go down towards the left side. Good. And turn the head gently to the right. So also, each side is different. So you might have to change the angles of your knees for this movement. That's totally fine. Sometimes one side's much easier to work with than the other. Good. So once you find the perfect angle for you, then soften all those muscles. I like to pretend that I'm like a rag doll. No bones, no muscles, no effort, except for the breath. And now you're going to exaggerate like crazy. So you're inhaling deeply. You can feel all the tissues on the right side expand. And exhale, you let it soften again. So you should feel that with each and every in-breath, that the stretch gets deeper from the inside to the out. And then with each exhalation, we let the body take in what it's been doing. Relax. Remember that it's in a safe position. And we allow those little changes to happen with each breath. Keep the throat contracted for the Ujjayi breath. So I know sometimes it feels like we're exaggerating when we do the Ujjayi breath, but it doubles your results. So the lazier you can be, the better. Just really focus in. You can pretend you're Darth Vader and make that sound. Excellent. So now after your next out breath, contract your abdominal muscles and then inhale to bring your knees in towards your belly, up and then in. So we're going to lift them in. Just put your hands on your knees and rock a tiny bit side to side to loosen the back. Good. Come back to the center. And then we're going to cross the ankles. And can you get a hold of your feet? Excellent. So this is might take a few times to practice, but we're going to work with the momentum and kind of massage the spine. And eventually, you'll be able to come up to sitting. It's okay, you're allowed to cheat. Yeah. But eventually what happens is the spine gets looser and looser, so it's all good. If you're more comfortable, feel free to sit up on the bolster as well. And we're going to work especially to open up the back and the shoulders right now. Good. So when we're sitting, the crown of the head and the tailbone align. Sometimes we have a tendency to sit forward, so just make sure that they're kind of straight. The shoulder blades come back and down. And think about having the back of the neck really long, so your chin comes in just slightly. Good. We're going to take in a deep breath. And then exhale, let the chin come down even further towards the heart. So we keep the back spine nice and straight and just the neck bends. And this time we're going to focus the breath into the shoulders. So that's great. I can already see your shoulders moving. We're going to imagine opening up the collarbones each time we inhale. And exhale. If your chin wants to slide down a little bit more, it's perfectly fine. Excellent. Now we're going to start doing little half circles. So you're inhaling up and around to one shoulder. Exhaling down towards the heart. Inhaling up and around to the other shoulder. Exhaling down towards the heart. And we can keep going nice and slowly in these half circles. Or if it's comfortable, take time to do a big circle with the head. Think about getting the back of the head to touch towards the back. Of course, it doesn't have to touch. You just make the circle appropriate for how you're feeling. Good, and then we're going to change directions. Excellent. So bring your head back to the center, and you can see if it's comfortable to stay on the cushion or not. It's totally up to you. We're going to bring our feet slightly ahead to make a diamond shape with the legs. And take the thighs and roll them out a little bit so it's more comfortable for your leg bones. Your feet can be adjusted. So when you're feeling less flexible, you bring the feet out further. And when you're feeling more flexible, you can bring them in. You just find what's comfortable for you because you don't want the hips to block the movement. We're looking at the back. So you're going to exhale and roll the spine down one vertebrae at a time. And go until you find whatever is your natural stop. So don't feel like you have to push or pull. It's just to be very, very comfortable. And then again, we loosen all of those overworked muscles. Let the bones just sink down. And especially think about relaxing your neck. So what's fantastic is that the head is so heavy, it's going to work like traction on the spine. And we really can let the body relax. And let the head start opening the spine one vertebrae at a time. And then letting the breath do the rest of the movement. So when you inhale, breathe in as deeply through your belly as possible. You'll even feel your torso lift up a tiny bit. Exhale, let your body sink down towards the earth. Very good. Inhale, roll the back up one vertebrae at a time. Let the spine straighten and let the shoulder blades hang down the back. You can cross your legs again if that's comfortable. And then for the next section, it depends on how your hands are feeling. You can either make fists and stay on your knuckles, or if it's comfortable, you can have your palms down on the floor. We're going to put them just behind the hips. So fairly close to the body if we can. And then squeeze the shoulder blades together to lift the heart. And either look up towards the sky, or if your neck's comfortable, you can let it drop down. And now you plant your tailbone down towards the ground so your belly lifts up too. Excellent. We're going to take a few deep, deep breaths here. And remember, it's always okay to feel sensation, but we do not go far enough into the posture that we feel pain. So, always go where it's appropriate for you on a given moment. Excellent. Bring your head up towards the center. And walk your hands back by your side. It's good?
Yes.
Okay. So, just remember, I'm not your mirror. So I'm going to tell you first. Inhale, lift up your right hand. And then we're going to put it on the left ear. And let the right ear sink to the right shoulder. So the stretch is on the left side. We try to keep the spine under the neck very straight. And then position your head. You kind of have to do maybe a little circle with your chin and feel which muscle is the tightest in your neck that you want to work on this morning. So you have 3 major muscles that run through the side of the neck. And then once it's in a nice angle where you have a good stretch, you can relax again into it. Take a few deep, deep breaths through the shoulder blades again. Very good. Inhale. We're going to lift the head and the hand back up to center. Now with your left hand, slide it about 30 centimeters or so from your hip. And when you bend your elbow, the bone twists in. So that's twisting backwards. Yeah, it twists in a little bit. And then we exhale, lean down towards the left. So the elbow bends. Excellent. So keep both hip bones on the ground. And then lift the heart up. Excellent. If you need to, you can twist your right shoulder back slightly too. So there should be very little weight on that left arm. Let your neck relax. And this is an option. You can see what it feels like if you stretch your right hand out further towards the left. Very good. Inhale, come back up to the center. And then we're going to bend the right elbow and place the hand between the shoulder blades. Now lift your left hand up. We're going to hold on to that right elbow. Press it back slightly, just to wherever we can. You're going to notice your shoulder blades came up, so slide, yes, good, slide the shoulder blades down. Do you have a good stretch in that right arm?
Yeah,
that's exactly
already.
what you want. Yeah, that's all you need. You don't have to think about doing anything more than that, just releasing all the tension is our goal. Very good. Exhale, release, and we're going to do a big circle with the arms. So you can do a couple forward, and then a couple backwards. Excellent. Let the arms come down. Okay, so we're going to do the other side. Make sure you get nice in positions, your shoulder blades are relaxed, your heart's up. And then tuck the chin in slightly. Inhale, lift the left hand up. We're going to place it on the right ear. And then let the left ear go towards the left shoulder. Again, adjust the angle of the head to make sure you have a good stretch down the right side of the neck. Are you finding it?
Yes.
Good. And then if you want to also, there's another option you can do, and you press your right shoulder a little bit down towards the ground as well. So the hand is loose, it's really the shoulder muscles that press the shoulder down, and that will make the muscles get longer on the side of the neck, and it accentuates the stretch. Very good. Inhale, lift the head and the hand up to the center. We're going to slide the right hand out about 30 centimeters. Bend the elbow and let it come a little bit inwards. Good. Exhale, we're going to lean down towards the right. Let the neck relax. And then just make sure the alignment's okay. So both hip bones are on the ground. And then we bring the shoulder blades back and down to lift the heart. And maybe rotate the left shoulder a little bit backwards. Excellent. And then if you want, you can see how it feels if you stretch that left hand out. Perfect. Inhale up. And then exhale, we're going to put the left hand between the shoulder blades. Lift the right hand up. And then just stretch the elbow back until you feel a little bit of a stretch. Now let the shoulder blades hang down away from your ears. Try to keep the heart up a little bit. Okay, take a few more deep breaths. Perfect. Exhale, release your hands down to your knees. Would you be more comfortable if you're sitting on the cushion? You're more than welcome to.
Yeah, right here it's starting to, like,
that's
my
what
muscles are
happens.
tense.
Yeah, so if you sit on the cushion, it's going to put your low back in a better alignment and it will be more comfortable. Always feel free to take stuff like that whenever you need it. Good. It's okay.
No, I'm cramping.
No, just sit however you want, because we're really doing a lot with the arms right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to inhale, squeeze the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, let it drop down. Again, inhale, squeeze, tight, 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 tight. Exhale, release. Last time, inhale, squeeze. And then exhale, let it drop down. So we're going to do what's called the eagle arms now. So we lift the arms the same height as the shoulders.
Oh, the twist thing?
There's many modifications.
Okay,
so
good.
See what works.
Good, because I'm really bad.
Yeah, well, this is why I'm doing it, because the
Okay.
postures that are the hardest are usually what we need the most, but there's
Yeah.
modifications, so it's not so bad.
That's definitely the one I need the most then.
Yeah. So we're going to start by crossing the right elbow over the left. And then we're simply going to put the hands on the shoulders. How does that feel for you?
Good.
Okay,
And stretch.
so it's already stretching?
Yeah, just
Okay,
this.
perfect. So what you can do, you want to bring the shoulder blades back and down. That might accentuate the stretch. So sometimes this is enough, just trying to really position the shoulder blades as they need to be. There's many things that we can do from here. You can inhale, lift the elbows up, and let them come down. Do it a couple of times. How does that feel in the shoulder?
The right shoulder feels a nice stretch.
Okay, so
Comfortable
that's what
stretch.
we want.
Yeah. Nothing on the left, but
No, we're going to have to work with the right one before we
okay.
can stretch out the left one the same. Don't worry, it all catches up after a while. Good, one more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Is it still okay? Okay, so we're going to lift it so it's about the same height as the shoulders. And imagine the elbows have a pen. We're going to draw a circle. How does that feel in the shoulder?
Still good.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Good. And then change directions as well. Try to keep the torso quite still. Excellent. Come down. So I'm going to see if you can do something today. It might be for the next time. We'll see. So you're going to let the arms unfold to the wrist and then interlace the fingers. Let the shoulders relax. And just inhale and bring the hands up to the heart. Is that okay for your right wrist?
Yes.
Now, you're going to do this nice and slowly. Just start bringing the hands forward until you feel a stretch. Sometimes it starts right away. Sometimes you can really extend forward. If you have pain in your hands or your wrists, you stop before the pain's there.
Yeah, no, it's fine like that.
Good. Try to relax your shoulders as much as possible. Excellent. I know, because sometimes when we're focusing on one, we end up tensing the other. But this is it's really good for your wrists. Good. So you can release, and then we're going to shake out the arms and the hands. Okay, we're going to do the other side and see how it feels. So we lift the arms up. When we do this, we have the tendency to roll the back forward. So bring the shoulders back and down so we're always standing up nice and tall with the spine. And then cross the left elbow over the right. And then bring the hands to the shoulders again. Okay, does that feel okay in your shoulders?
Yes.
Do you have any sensation in the right shoulder?
No.
Okay, so the option when your shoulders are feeling better is to see if you can cross the hands. And if you can't get the hands together, you're perfect like that.
Okay.
And then you can lift the elbows to the same height as the shoulders, if that's possible.
Yeah. There's the stretch right there.
Okay, so you're
And
gonna
both shoulder blades too.
Yeah, so that's good. Because we don't want to create more of an injury in the right shoulder, but you can do this on the opposite side until the other one catches up.
Okay.
Okay? So when we're here, we try to bring the shoulder blades back and down, the heart's lifted. Try to keep the hands directly over the elbows. Just take a couple more deep, deep breaths. Good. As you exhale, you can release the elbows, let the hands come down and cross at the wrist. Good. So we keep the hands together. Inhale, bring it up towards the heart. How's that in the right wrist?
Good.
Good. Extend forward to wherever you can without causing any pain. Good. Remember to relax your shoulders again and keep the heart up. Excellent. Take a couple more deep, deep, deep breaths. Excellent. Exhale, release again. Shake out the hands and the arms. Is that feeling okay?
Yeah.
Good. Bring your left hand to your right knee.
Left hand, right knee.
Yeah. And then the right hand behind your back, fairly close. So if you can, rotate the shoulders back and down. Keep the chin down a little bit so your neck's long. Now the twist start at the belly button. So as you exhale, start twisting from the belly button upwards towards the right. And every time you inhale, you want to feel like you're pulling up through the crown of the head so the spine gets longer. And then every time we exhale, we twist slightly more. So again, it's always good to feel its sensation, but we don't go into any area of pain. We just let the body come into those postures naturally. Perfect. Exhale, release nice and slowly to come back to the center. Bring the right hand to the left knee. The left hand goes behind the back. The shoulders come back and down. Chin's down. Good. Exhale, start twisting towards the left this time. So we're inhaling to stretch up through the crown of the head and exhaling to twist more. Very good. Exhale, unwind nice and slowly. And we're going to do one more posture for the shoulders. So we're going to interlace the hands behind the back. Bring the elbows so that they're straighter and try to slide the hands down towards the tailbone. How does that feel?
Okay.
So if you start moving your hands away from your back.
Oh, that's tough.
So you just go to wherever you can today, but that's the action. Sometimes we just start and we just have to hang them down, you know?
Okay.
And then as it gets better and better, we start moving it away from the back.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to take a couple deep breaths. Exhale, release. And again, you need to shake out your hands and your shoulders. That's great. And then I'm going to let you lie on your back again. Excellent. So we're just going to take a few minutes here so you can let all those postures sink into the body. He wants to be your pillow, I think. Right. So make sure you're in a nice, comfortable position. Good. Again, make sure you have lots of room between your shoulders and your ears. Your hips are comfortable. And you don't have to do anything at all here. You don't even have to control your breath. We're going to let everything slow down. And just notice the back of the body starting to melt down towards the floor. Allow everything to relax down. And as you relax, take time to just notice what's happening in your body. What reactions is your body having to all of those postures? Do you feel tingling and vibration? Maybe you feel the circulation moving in certain parts of your body. Maybe you feel the tension has been released. Maybe there's still some tension there. Examine it without placing any type of judgment. Because the more and more we notice the results in the body, we start realizing what exactly we need to do to heal. And then after we notice all of those physical changes, becomes easier to notice what's happening with our moods, our emotions, our mind, our soul. And then whenever you're ready, you can start wiggling your fingers and your toes. Let your arms come up and over your head and take a deep, deep, deep stretch. Stretch all the way from your fingertips to the toes, down one side and the other. And when you're ready, you can bend your knees and roll over to the right side. So thank you very much. Namaste.
Namaste.